today we have got Team Exile going up against the Regenerate, and then later on we have got the Orcs going up against Exeus Esports. And we've seen these teams before. You know, Team Exile and Regenerate, seen them play. Both of them are down 2 maps, so they're definitely going to be chasing for that first win.
Yeah, two teams looking for the first W of the Russian Overwatch Cup, and that's not to put any emphasis on these guys. They're still not down by a lot. I mean, it is early in these group stages, and also
hmm
these guys are pros. No matter what, even if they are, even the team that loses, that goes down, that is going to have to live another day without getting that first win. It's still props to all of them because these pros are grinding hard and yeah, two teams looking for their first win, so it's going to be a tough call on this one to see who's gonna take away the W here. But remember, we're still in Group 2, so we're gonna move on to Eichenwald, the first map of the day.
hmm And yeah, definitely, group stages, they got a long time, right? So these teams still got going. And before we forget, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Rien. I'm going to be your play-by-play caster today, guiding you through the fights. And on the other side, we've got Pulse, the color caster. He'll be here giving you some big brain analysis. And I can't wait for these teams to go at it. This is going to be an exciting match.
Yeah, definitely. And these teams, when they're going head to head, I think the key is going to be controlling the tempo. That's going to be the key here. Is that if individual players, marching to their own beat, having their own tempo along their side, that's going to cause some mayhem. Just because it's going to be difficult for them to kind of move against a team who's in sync with each other. While if if your team isn't coordinated and moving together as a unit, you're not going to walk away with the W here. So that's going to be the key, especially on a map like Eichenwald, where there's multiple. I guess you could say phases. It reminds me a lot about like Watch Point Gibraltar, where every time they move on to a different part of the map, there's different key positions for the defense to set up and try to take control. So that's what's going to be the key tonight, or what's going to be the key today. Um, if these teams can finally get that win under their belt.
It's going to be the most important thing. And here you see the defense. They've set up themselves with a little bit of dive and also the Sombra, which I do like. I want to see how they're going to use iHalix here on the Sombra to get the value. You see him sneaking around. Sombra has now infinite invisibility, so I think iHalix might be using this here to scout out members of the opposing team, get behind them, and then hit him with a cheeky hack. Here it comes onto the D.Va. You're the target for the day, and this turns D.Va into practically a trash can. Just a free ultimate battery for the rest of the team as the fight's already begun. Artemka is the first to fall by Swallies here, hitting him with the D.Va boosters, and now that D.Va was hacked, she couldn't use her Matrix, she couldn't avoid most of the damage, but iHalix is next. He is the next target found by Chasam God here on the point. The Sombra's down. You lose the hack. The utility's gone, but Pyro's already got the barrage, and he finds 2 on the point. It might not have been enough, though, because they do finish him off. Jay Swinboo's there trying to create space along with his Mercy, Mr. Mustachio, but it's not just going to be enough. And Chasam God bats down this defense of the Team Exile, and they're going to take this first point here for the Regenerate.
Yeah, this is why we keep seeing Goats comp more and more every single day. I mean, it's just such a hard comp, especially if you're running together. It feels like you're getting hit by a train essentially when Goats comp comes running at you. Especially on that dive defense, you kind of have to give a little bit of ground so you can kind of essentially counter dive on them. But Goats is just such a hard thing to run into. And they're gonna keep with the Goats comp right now. And look, they're still putting pressure, moving together as a unit. I love this.
Yeah, they want to position themselves here on top of the castle, but Chasam God gets knocked down. He's split from the team. Jay Swinboo forced to invest his ultimate, however. He did take a lot of damage there, but here comes the Coalescence trying to get Jay Swinboo out of here. But the charge comes out from Chasam God. He was pressured, knew he was low, and iHalix is going to take advantage of the shield being dropped and score a nasty, sweet headshot on him. And we saw this, and Pyro again! Another barrage! Love the response from Swallies to Matrix's Pharah and support him. You don't see that too often, but you definitely see it always in this high-tier play because they know exactly how to deal with this. And if we look at where iHalix is set up here, he's in a position where he can watch the spawn, tries to catch Loyo. Can he find the shot? It really depends. He has the high ground over Loyo, and Loyo does take a shot, but needs to be careful now as he's very 1 HP. 3 actually almost went down. Needs to be very careful here, but look at the ults. not really in favoring of either side. Just depends on how they use the limited pool that they have.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to Chisamgar landing this huge shatter, and then with these guys taking the high ground, he hasn't really found a good opportunity yet. As the Diva Bomb's going to go in, see if it can find anybody out there.
Jirohara, he tried to avoid it, but he just couldn't. But here comes a grab on the other side. There's a Transcendence, however. Mr. Mustachio is found. He was around the corner and couldn't get the healing. And this could be what the offense is going to need to push things through. Now that the Mercy's down, you lose the healing, you lose the Resurrect. And if the Zen is soon to follow here, which it looks like it is, but no! Artemka is going to get shut down, but the Diva of IDGAFYT, it's a very hard name to say if you can't tell. Is going to take him down eventually, but here comes a Primal Rage from Jay Swinbu, just knocking them around. Does finish off the Diva, and Swalise is back in the fight now, ready for more. But Loyal is trying to get the counter picks here, and with the reinforcements arriving, that pick might have been enough to even the odds. But again, look at Pyro here. He's got another barrage, just needs to watch out for a Loyal here, and he can land a big one.
Yeah, and there is a little bit of Widow Duel going up on top of the bridge right now. It's kind of a close range Widow Duel, but the fight should be on the point right now, and there goes the barrage you've mentioned, and it's going to be a big one.
Yep, all three found already. There's a Diva Bomb, though. The Fire Mercy combo is down. They're demeched as well, but Jay Swinbu is there to cover things. The Monkey's got your back at all times, and you don't need to worry. Just while he's there going for the reset. Now for the offense here or the defense, no real ultimates to work with. You see that IDGAF is going to switch over to the Genji here as opposed to the Diva, and Artemka is going to go over from the Zarya.
Yeah, the Goats kind of works on a little bit of momentum, so if you're getting stopped in your tracks, it's kind of hard to re-engage it, so they are going to go with the dive. It's going to be a dive fight. I feel like we're on Watch Point Gibraltar right now.
Absolutely, but Loyo and iHalix are in a bit of a duel here. iHalix takes the first shot. He's pretty low health here at 128, and Loyo is still full health, and there you go. Loyo's going to find the kill. Jay Swinbu finally moves into pressure, but it's just not going to be enough. The picks are already there. Pyro's down. iHalix is brought back, and Jay Swinbu finally does finish off Loyo. But is it going to be enough? Because here comes the dive on the side of the offense. IDGAF is there trying to take down that pesky Widow of iHalix, and here comes the dive once more. Jasam God, though, he's pushed back and finished off by Swally here, and this is where the dive begins to fall apart. With your Winston down, there's no shield, there's no frontline aggression. It's so hard to push in. Juthis falls down into the pit, finished off by Pyro, and now the Genji's forced to dash out lest he die, but he does. iHalix there finishing him off, and this fight is still going towards the defense here. This is great execution of this dive defense. I love it.
Yes, controlling the tempo. As I was saying earlier, they seem like, they lost control of it a little bit, but then they got in sync, and now they are in control of this map. Every time this dive comes in on the attack, it feels like the defense is 2 steps ahead of them, always knowing what's going on. Now Loyo on that Tracer. We've seen him be a very aggressive Tracer before, so I'm expected to see this already diving on the Pyro.
Ooh, gotta be very careful there. He did take a lot of damage and then get poisoned, but iHalix is going to find the kill into Juthis, and this is a big pick because the Mercy's now down. Loyo doesn't have any support on his little solo mission there looking for the flanks, and it definitely puts a lot less pressure on the side of the offense. But here, of trying to reapply that pressure is IDGAF with a blade, but he's going to get shut down by the Diva Bomb. And now on both sides, you've got a 5v5, but the defense definitely has the spawn advantage here, so they can get back to the fight quicker. And now Chasam God does pressure down Mr. Mustachio. He's down. Swally's dipping under the bridge there to avoid that Diva Bomb that came out from Artemka. And here's another blade from Pyro, but the Transcendence is there to counteract it. Pyro now being pressured by Chasam God has to get out of there, and his blade is going to unfortunately not pan out the way he might have wanted it to. He's dueling with his other Genji here. It's a bit of a duel of the fates between the two, but IDJF and both of them are going to cut their losses, go their own separate ways, and here comes a Transcendence as the aggression needs to be here from the defense to try and counteract this point, because it's right there, and with OT ticking down, and 2 already down, but the Mercy on both sides are now down, and the spawn advantage means they can get back quicker. Swallies takes a bomb to the face, but the Atom is just fragging out right now. Kill after kill is falling, everybody dead on the offense here, and this is going to be the defense completely holding this, not letting them get to the second checkpoint. Amazing, beautiful execution of that dive defense. That's exactly how you want to do it.
Team Exile, the kings of Eichenwald at the moment, exiling the enemy team essentially out of Germany all the way back to spawn, and they are absolutely controlling this map. They lost control of the capture point rather quickly, actually. It wasn't too long of a defense, but then as soon as the card started moving, it felt like they keep winning fight after fight. And I think that's just because the dive works so well when there's like a high ground for them to hold. And the castle high ground, once the card starts moving, that's so essential for you to hold. And iHalix and holding that high ground on that Widowmaker, in that final fight we saw the first two picks were the supports from iHalix. iHalix picking off those first two supports, and that's the key to winning that out. If you find those essential picks like that, and so very impressive showing from Team Exile, taking control of the map.
Yeah, we definitely want to highlight the Adam as well. I mentioned him. He was fragging out in that last fight, going completely insane. And iHalix, he's back on this Sombra here. I think he's going to go for the scout once more. Whereas on the side of the offense, or not the offense here, the defense rather, switching sides. Colors get me mixed up. It's they're running this this Ryan Zarya, which is definitely viable. You see teams run this all the time, and I'm interested to see how they execute this because every team plays Ryan Zarya differently. There's many ways that you can play it.
Yeah, especially on this defense here because there's like essentially we see them, hold the choke as usual, but once things kind of get back it up and the fight does go move to the point, that's where the creative plays of Zarya Ryan could come in, and I think it's going to be key. Obviously the Dragon Surge combination is the one they're going for, but look at this, they're running the pharmacy on the offense, so it's going to be something they have to deal with when they don't. It's going to be up to Loyo to kind of take out that pharmacy comp.
Let's watch iHalix here. He's going on the flank on the Sombra, going on a bit of a mission by himself. Throws the translocator on the health pack, but he's finally found out his mission. He's exposed, needs to be careful, but now he's behind enemy lines, and this is not a good situation. You're pressured on multiple fronts, and Loyo's going to draw first blood here. Pyro on the other side, though, not to be outdone, does take down Jasam God, but the res is there for him, whereas Pyro is not going to have one on his side, but he does get brought back into the fight. They're still fighting this at 5v6 though, so they need to be careful. Now it's 5.5 versus 6 with the Swallies demeched here. The D.Va is gone. You lose the Matrix. I don't know if they want to continue pushing in, but actually the baby D.Va finds the pick. Pyro's down on the other hand, but Mr. Mustachio avenges his Pharah and takes out Loyo here. In this, I think the offense is definitely going to win this fight. Wow, that did not look like it was going to be very good for them. iHalix died so early in the fight, but then they were able to retake it regardless. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like, just because the Pharah was, I think that was the key to controlling that map, just because, I saw him constantly using the concussion blast to move the tanks around, and look, they're still putting the pressure on them. The car hasn't even gotten moving yet, and they're still getting picks.
Yeah. He needs to be careful here, though. Jace Winbu may have bitten off more than he can chew, especially with this pressure. He's going to have to jump out of there. I was a little worried for him, but here comes the high noon. Not going to find anything there, Loyo. Nice try. Does take down Mr. Mustachio outside of it, though, when it was 12:01 p.m. But now, Swallies forced to use the bomb here to get back in the fresh mech. Needs to be careful that he's able to do so, and actually does get the kill onto Samcod there with the mech drop. And now Artemka, you're cornered. There's not a whole lot you can do. EDGF is being knocked around by the Primal Rage from Jace Winbu right now, who jumps up onto the top of the Casual Oppressor. The Zenyatta needs to be careful though, because as a result he's left the front line uncontested, and this just gives the Hanzo of IDGAF all the room he needs to work with. Picks up 2 quick kills, but the card is still moving. Pyro's there to finally shut him down, and Loyo on this Tracer now, 1 HP. Gotta get out of there, gotta get the heals as fast as you can and build up towards that pulse bomb so you can use it to get a crucial pick.
Yeah, but look on the side of the defense. Look at all these ultimates they have to combine, and I think it's going to be, that Graviton is going to be the key. So it's going to be Swallies to try to eat that beyond the front line.
There it is.
The Grav.
The Grav is gone. It's no more, but the Earth Shatter might have just been enough to get the picks that they needed. They invest all of their ultimates except for the Transcendence. As a result, though, probably not what you want to see. They do get the team kill, but at what cost?
Yeah, they used every single thing they had, and on the side of the offense, they have practically everything except for their tank ultimates, and their tank ultimates can be built up in a fight pretty quickly. So it's going to be difficult for them. I'd watch out for iHalix with the Sombra EMP. Look at this Loyo putting pressure on the backline already, diving in there.
Yeah, but Artemka, again, the first to fall there, the dive was on him, and he couldn't just withstand the pressure. more pressure than a submarine perhaps, but here you go. Pyro's now down. IDGAF, the elder Shimada brother, does take down his younger brother, and here comes the Transcendence from the Atom. The EMP as well. It's not going to find a whole lot of value though, as he's instantly taken down by a8aa. I'm not even sure if the cast did even go off, but IDGAF is now pressured. He knows he's fighting a losing battle. He doesn't have the proper numbers, and Artemka knows this as well. Wants to get out of there as fast as possible because Swally begins to pressure, but can Juthis escape? Don't know. Does get the bubble. No, here comes the Rhine. The cavalry's now arrived, and they can afford to push in. Wow! Great predictive Transcendence there by Jorohara. Knew the blade or some sort of ultimate was coming, but regardless, IDGF is going to be found. This is going to be the last fight for the defense. They got to hold strong here, but everyone's falling. Jace Winboo's there. 2 already down, and now wants to move that pressure onto the front line. Artemka is very low, soon to fall, and it's just the mercy left of Juthis here. You're discorded. You can't last long, and that's going to be Team Exile taking this 1-0 so far on Eichenwald.
Congratulations to Team Exile getting their first win of this RUOW, but very, very convincing. And just Winboo is going to get the play of the game. A very good Winston player, controlling the tempo. Played Winston this whole match.